Joanna will try to escape from me the whole time. I'm sure she's gonna put her fingers on my eyes like she always does. But I'll do my game. I'm ready for this. I won the first fight, and I'll show everybody who's the best.
I've been thinking about it, and I'm just curious, what do you think about 5 rounds instead of 3? Obviously, you've got a lot of muscle. Are there any concerns about having to perform 5 rounds instead of the 3?
If you watch my fight with her, I got better in the second and third round. The third round I was flying. If we had 2 more rounds there, she couldn't stand with me the whole time. So that's what I think. She's not used to do the things I do. She's not used to fight someone like me, really explosive and strong. And I'm sure she will feel that, not me.
Joanna seems to like to get into her opponent's heads a little bit, and she's tried it with you, but it doesn't seem to be working so much with you. Why is that? And you don't think it'll affect you in the fight overall?
I think the mind game is part of Joanna's game side after. And she tried everything with me and didn't work. I just don't pay attention to the things that she says. I don't think she says nice things, like nothing that she says get in my head. I don't care about things that she says. And that might be bad for her because she needs that to fight well.
Claudia, given the first fight and watching other contenders get the championship opportunity, did you feel frustrated at the time that you didn't get this title fight sooner, or are you happy with the way things have turned out and this is a big card you're on?
I'm happy, I'm happy the way they did everything. I only had one fight after fight Joanna, and I think it was the toughest one. Jessica Aguilar is one of the best ever. And they gave me her, and they said if you can beat her, I give you the title shot. So that's what I did. I worked so hard. I beat Jessica Aguilar, and here I am.
Joanna likes to do different stuff at the weigh-ins. What are you expecting from her on Thursday for weigh-ins?
I don't know. I just want to do my job. I'm not waiting for anything. I'm not training for the things that she does. I'm doing my things. And she can have a surprise from me also.
What would it mean for you to be Brazil's female UFC champion?
What it would mean to me?
Yeah.
Would it mean a lot of things, To myself, first, it would mean a lot of things because I've been through a lot of things to be here. It's very hard to be an MMA fighter in Brazil, and to be a female MMA fighter, it's even harder. And I'm in the road for a while. I'm working so hard for so long, and I've been through bad things to be here today. So conquer that belt would mean everything to me.
In this past year, how did you stay active with this task in mind of returning and making yourself the champion against Joanna?
I think I changed it a lot. I improved it as a fighter. I'm more mature as an adult, and a lot of things changed it because when I fought her the first time, I learned a lot, and I think you lose more when I think you learn more when you lose, So they gave me that loss in my record, and that taught me a lot of things, and I learned how to train. And to train specifically for each fight that I have in the future.
She said that she wants to be a 2-division champion, fight at 125. Do you feel that means she's looking past you for this fight?
I think she's dreaming too much. A lot of melatonin.
So you might have a surprise for her at weigh-ins, you said? You may have a little something for her?
I never do anything, If you watch my weigh-ins and my fights, I don't like mind games, Like I've been saying, I grew up in the BJJ philosophy, and I learned to be very respectful with my opponents, with the coaches, and Joanna is completely different than me, So she kind of bothered me with that, and I never did nothing, But if she does things to me, I'll do things back to her.
What do you think of a 125-pound division for women as there's not one in the UFC? Would you be in favor of having one in the UFC? You think it'd be a good idea?
I think it would be a great idea. UFC and the whole world has some great fighters in that division. Some 135ers will fight in the 125 as well. A couple 115 fighters qualified in the 125, like Valerie, Jojo, you know, they look great in the 125. I'm so happy to see them fighting in that division. And also we have great fighters in the 135 that can go down, and great 125ers as well. You know, Juliana just signed with the UFC. She trains with me and she's a great fighter. I'm excited to see her and other girls.
I was obviously undefeated, and you were undefeated for a really long time. How did suffering a loss for the first time affect your mindset and how you approach the fight game? And for being undefeated, do you think that kind of changes things for her, like how she approaches the fight being undefeated?
I'll tell you what, in my mind and my heart, I'm undefeated. I never lost a fight in my life. To me, I lost this fight to the judges, not to you. If you watch this fight 100 times, you know there's no way she beat me the first time. The only thing she did was that knockdown last 10 seconds of the first round. If you watch the whole fight, you know, I dominated everything. So I don't see that loss in my mind and in my heart, but it is in my record. So that made me learn a lot, made me wanna give that back to her.
So how important is it for you to not let this fight go 5 rounds, knowing that you feel you lost to the judges and not opponent, and you don't want that to happen again, obviously?
I think this changed my training camps, you know, the way I'm training to knock people out and to beat people instead of, you know, winning fight by the points. That's the only thing that changed in my game. But other than that, I'm not gonna be thinking about the judges while I'm fighting. I'm thinking about what I have to do in fight to win.
Claudia, na opinião, teve topo do tempo.
Happy for me, but I know that I'm ready, you know, and yeah, I feel ready. I cannot wait until Friday.
It does look like you've added some muscle. Was that a focus at beginning of this? Was adding lean mass?
A little bit. Am I look good? So, thank you so much.
Joanna, on the show, how much of it was real and how much of it was you just playing mind games with her?
The Ultimate Fighter, all was real, you know, like I was not playing. Like, what I can say, I cannot blame the tough production, Claudia Gadelha or myself. I said what I said and I did what I did. But the thing is that in our regular life, we have people, we accept some people and some of the people we don't accept. So definitely Claudia Gadelha is the person who I not accept, and that's all. I know that she wants to take my belt, my life, my dreams, my goals away from me. I cannot let her do this, and that's why I was acting like this, you know. But the production couldn't fit all the stories, you know. I know the stories, how was everything, and I can tell you honestly that there's no time to show everything what happened there, you know. Like, there were so many good stories, good moments. I would like to do this one more time, even they will show me as a bully person, because you know what, the most important thing for me was being a coach, a friend, and a friend for all of my fighters, you know. I got the messages, I'm still receiving messages from my fighters, the Ultimate Fighters, and they are happy. They said that I changed some of them, and I'm happy. It's the most important thing, you know. So sometimes you cannot help, but I was real, and I'm sorry that you saw bully Joanna, but it's me. When I must fight for myself, for my dreams, my goals, my life, I will be tough as a hell, you know.
This extra muscle you put on, was that in response to fighting Claudia, or is it something you've been wanting to do for a while?
I had perfect camp, good diet. I'm working with perfecting athletes. Everything went well and smooth. So I feel like stronger, not just physically but mentally as well. I'm very confident. Like I said, I'm getting more and more confident for this fight with Claudia. It's going to be a really tough fight, and I hope that next year you will call this fight of the year 2016.
Well, let's talk about that fight for a second, because obviously the first one was very, very close. In your head, are you seeing another back and forth close fight, or what does this fight sort of look like to you when it comes time to get in there?
Well, our first fight was close. It was 19 months ago. I fought 3 times from the first fight with Claudia Gadelha in 2014. I did 11 rounds. Claudia Gadelha had just one fight, 3 rounds fight. So I've got more experience. I feel like I'm really strong to beat Claudia Gadelha. Of course, I have so much respect to her as a fighter. She's still number one. She was the number one for a long time. So I really respect her and her skills. But it's time to prove one more time to her, her coaches, her team, and all of the people that I'm the only one really strawweight UFC champion.
What did you think of her last performance in her last fight? Some people were a bit critical. What did you think of it?
I don't know. I'm trying to not be critical about people, fights, and other stuff. You know, like the fight is very difficult. You know, sometimes we prepare it very long, very hard. But it must be this day when we fight, you know. So, but I think Claudia, she fought smart with Jessica Aguilar. So it's not about like putting on muscles, being the strongest one. You must be smart in the octagon, you know, and take this fight second by second.
How about the altercation you guys had after the season? We've heard her talk about it. We haven't heard you talk about it. I mean, we understand she landed a kick on you, right? I mean, has that stuck with you and bothered you at all?
Oh, come on. I had like almost 100 Muay Thai fights, so I used to train and fight with really tough kickers, you know. And so she didn't kick me. She was trying to kick me, but it's all over. It's all about the fight, upcoming fight on Friday, and that's all I'm focused on.
Have you two run into each other at all yet? And what's that been like?
I saw her yesterday. I was giving the interview for the Brazilian TV or website, and she walked. She passed away. Yeah, passed away, or she
Passed through.
Passed through. Yeah. So no emotions, you know, no emotions.
In your last fight, you went 25 minutes. Going the distance, was there anything that you took away that's going to make you a better fighter for this performance?
Yes, definitely. You cannot be so dominant all the time, you know, because then you pay a lot for this, you know. You must be ready for all kind of opponents. You must be ready for full distance of the fight, you know. So definitely, I'm happy that I had really tough fight with Valérie Letourneau, and yeah, I'm just more rich of experience, you know.
What about being champion is most enjoyable to you now that you have this position in the UFC?
For myself, I'm still little Joanna from the hood, from small town in Poland, and I'm still having my goals, my dreams, and maybe some people think that it's all about the hype, about the fame, but it's not. It's all about being the best. It's all about challenging myself every day, and I want to be the best. I have my goals, my dreams. Like I said, I want to be undefeated, and I want to retire as undefeated. Maybe I will hold 2 belts in the future. Maybe it's going to happen next year. We don't know, but I know that Claudia Gadelha is the person who I must keep on doing what I am doing. Like, may all my dreams and goals come true.
What's your pitch to the UFC to open up the 125 division?
Go for no one. I don't pack in, I don't quit. I'm into the bitter end, and I'm looking to take them out. I'm sharp, fit, fast, healthy, and I'm ready to take them out.
Yeah, and he was taking some shots at what you've done in the UFC and everything. Did any of that, get you personally at all?
Not at all, no. It's a part of the sport. It's fun and games. The more animosity, more hype, the better I show. The better I turn up, the more fire that I feel in my belly, the more hunger to shut him up, to prove him that he's in the wrong class, that I'm a better fighter than him, the better Ross Pearson will show up on the night.
Ross, you were Chandler's training partner when he fought Brooks twice. So are you pretty familiar with Brooks going into this fight already?
Honestly, no. I've only ever seen them 2 fights. I trained with Mike for that fight, only being because of the striking that I had to help him out with. That was the only thing that I helped him with. But in that fight, like I said, I was not making excuses. Mike was injured. He shouldn't have took that fight, both of them. But he did. He paid the prices. He paid the consequences. It didn't work out for him. I think Mike's a great fighter. He's got great abilities, but on that occasion he came up short.
Ross, a lot of people praised him for stepping in on kind of short notice and taking this fight, but it seems risky for you as well, not having the name that you have. Why were you willing to take this fight?
I'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere. I'm ready for anyone. I've been saying it for a long time. I'm sick of fighting guys that the media don't get excited about, the fans don't get excited about. I'm in this to make money. I'm in this for my family. I want to live the good life. I want to come on and put exciting fights on. Like I say, when you guys get excited, it gets me excited. When the fans get excited, I come in here, I train harder, I want it more, I fight harder, and only good things come from it. There's no negatives whatsoever. It's only positive in my mind right now.
Last time we obviously spoke to you was after the Chad Laprise fight. Now, not saying that you weren't excited for that fight, but would you say this is the most you've been excited in quite some time for a matchup?
Yeah, quite some time. Last year has been rough, up and down. Been through some health issues, but that's not an excuse. That's nothing. I still fought. I'm still fighting the UFC's best. I've won some, I've lost some. I've paid the price. You know what I mean? But I'll never quit, never stop. I keep telling everyone all the time that I'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere. I'm ready to. My abilities, my skill, my heart, my want is always there. And yeah, like I say, I'm ready to go. My weight's down. I'm back to being healthy again, so I'm hungry, and I want to make a statement. This fight's got all eyes on it. He's coming with a lot of hype, a lot of energy about himself, feeling himself. So I'm sure he's going to bring it. I'm questionable about that though, but we'll see when we get in there. And yeah, I'm knocking this guy out.
Ross, you said this is the right time for you to make a real run in this lightweight division. What's clicked in your life and in your training side of things that makes you feel you're in that right spot to really keep on?
Nothing's really clicked like instantly. It's just been a gradual progress. Like I said, getting over the health issues that I had, getting back to feeling healthy, training, and like replenishing myself and feel good for the next session. Everything's just been rolling along. It's like the snowball effect of getting all that back again. Kind of when I had the up and down start, it was stoppy start, but the snowball effect of continuously keep going, continuously keep moving. My speed feels good, my combinations, my counters, my skill feels good. Yeah, it's just a combination of everything.
Just on that last comment there, you said that you don't think Will's going to bring it in this fight. Can you sort of explain that? Why do you think that?
Now versus your expectations.
Man, it feels like a homecoming, man. It just feels nice. My coaches had to slow me down. They told me, like, just get up there and do a little bit of movement, don't get all crazy. But I got loose, man. When people started cheering Will Brooks or Will Brooks, whatever, man, I just got crazy, man. I could have stayed up there all night. But this is amazing, man. Seeing all these cameras, you asking me questions in this setting, this is amazing, man. I love this, man. I'm built for this, you know?
So no.
Sorry, everybody, I'm sweating, man. I'm sorry.
A lot of people say the octagon jitters are very much real. What do you think it's going to be
There's
like?
no such thing, man. There's no such thing. There's preparation. You know, you make sure you're ready to go for everything in life. I think you do that with anything that you do. If you're a fighter, if you're a reporter, a media, anything. When you woke up this morning, you knew you were coming here. You figured out your questions that you were going to ask, right? So for me, I knew that I was going to be in the UFC at some point, so I was preparing myself, you know. I was working with the last organization that I was a part of, you know. I built myself up. I got comfortable with the idea of being a champion there, and, you know, I've moved forward, so I'm prepared. I'm ready to be here.
I'd imagine you visualize this a lot over the past couple of years. Is it almost surreal to kind of have it happening now on this kind of a big stage, UFC 200?
Not really, man, because, again, it's one of those things where I have a great supporting cast, man. Just not only my family and my fiance and all the, you know, the close people, but my coaches, man. Since I've been at American Top Team, they've made sure that I'm prepared for every single step of the way, physically, mentally, spiritually, and just make sure that I'm constantly trying to evolve as a person and as a fighter. So, you know, I've been ready, man. My coaches have gotten me ready, you know, so let's go.
Where would you rank him in comparison with the guys you've fought already in your career?
I don't know, man. Everybody's different. I try my best not to think about, you know, everybody gets caught up in organizations and things like that, but for me, I try to see everything as a fight, as individual competitors, you know, so everybody's going to be different. Just because you represent this organization, that does nothing for your skill set. You still have to go in the gym and train and sweat, and you maybe sometimes bleed in the gym like I do. So really, I don't rank anybody. I see everybody as an individual, and I try to attack that individual and not try to rank them amongst the other guys that I fought, you know?
You guys had a bit of a back and forth on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
Did any of that stuff get to you, or was it just...
Not at all, man. I was dying laughing, man. It was fun. I love it, man. It's part of the sport, man. We're part of it is we're entertainers too, you know, and we're competitors. You never want to go in there and be like, oh, this guy's very, very talented. He might beat me. No, you never want to think like that, you know. So to be able to go back and forth with a guy like that, not be nasty or vicious or like kind of taking underhanded shots at each other, but having fun with it was cool, you know. But it's competitors, man. This is fighting. We're not playing patty cake, you know what I'm saying? So it was fun.
Russ was out here before and he said that he believes that you'll be running from him in this fight. What's your response to something like that?
Yo, I'm a runner. That's why I'm an athlete. I'm a runner. No, I'm just kidding. No, man. Look, man, this is fighting. I think a lot of guys have forgotten that this is mixed martial arts. This is not, hey, let's stand and punch. Like, this is not rock'em sock'em, you know. Like, you're training to beat everybody in every aspect of mixed martial arts, and that's something I've trained extremely hard to be able to do. I think I'm very composed when I'm in there. I'm thinking all the time. I'm adapting at all times. If I have to run, if that's the game plan, if I have to stick and move and get out, then I'll play that game. If you don't like it, then you should have trained to beat it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, whatever Ross has to say is what he has to say. I think he says things like that because he knows that he's very limited in his skill set. So he can't do anything more than just walk forward, throw big punches, and that's it. So he needs to get guys to kind of want to play his game. So, you know, it is what it is.
Well, Bill, you have 5-round experience. You've been a champion. Do you believe the UFC will fast-track you?
After the way I put a beating on Ross, man, yeah, of course, man. I'm not here to just hang out and look around for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I believe I'm a champion caliber fighter, you know, so right now it just happened that the timing just played out where I had to fight a guy that's not in the top 10, you know. I've been off I haven't fought since November of last year, so it's been a while, you know, and right now, a lot of their guys in the top 10 here in the UFC, they're either hurt or they're already booked. So it was like, man, do you want to, I could have signed with the UFC and be like, you know what, let me sit around and wait and see what happens. But I'm a competitor and I flipped the switch and was like, let's go fight and let's get to work. So, you know, I'm not worried about it. I'll go out there and do my thing and, you know, I'll move forward and I'll get to where I need to be, you know.
With that said, do you appreciate this reception and this opportunity at this particular moment because you do get the opportunity to introduce yourself to UFC fans?
No, not really, man. I think any position that they would have brought me in, if they brought me in and said, hey, here's a title fight right off the bat, I'd be the same way. Again, just because I am ready for this. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my spirit. My mind, body, and soul are on the same page, so I am ready for all of it. No matter where you put me in, I'm going to work, so that's it, you know?
No shortage of UFC veterans available to you. What kind of advice have you got ahead of your debut here from the experienced people in the octagon?
Oh, man, I've gotten so much help, man. It's one of the things that has really prepared me for this, you know, being able to talk to guys like, and I'm about to name drop so hard right now, talking to guys like Dustin Poirier, Robbie Lawler, George Masvidal, Kobe Covington. He's a younger guy, but he's got experience still, you know, so just having these guys around, being able to work with them and learn things mentally and learn things physically as far as skill sets go and things like that has just been incredible, an incredible opportunity that I can't say how much I appreciate it, man. So yeah, it's just been a blessing, you know.
Well, was there anything you learned or the way your body?
This one announced, I think fans got really excited. Is this one that you're excited for?
Fans are excited anytime I fight, so it doesn't really matter who I'm fighting. It just all depends if the other guy's gonna fight.
Does it seem like a guy that'll fight? Because it seems like to us he will.
Yeah, no, Derrick always comes to fight. He's the Black Fedor, you know? Black Beast, Black Fedor, you know? It's all the same.
Obviously a big fight weekend over here in Vegas. How do you feel about being on the fight night card? Do you like your placement?
Yeah, no, the only reason why I got bumped from main event to co-main is because of the title fight, but we all really know who's gonna set the fireworks off.
Obviously you mentioned Derrick Lewis is the Black Fedor. Tell us a little bit about your training going into this one. Did you do anything different? Anything stand out in your mind about the preparation for this fight?
I just trained with Maldonado, and then I just figured out how to beat him.
Where's your son today?
He's actually waiting to see the doctor.
Oh no, okay, right?
Yeah, well, apparently you don't go on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
No.
You're not one of those like news journalists that actually reads into and get facts.
No, never.
So you're like Ariel. No, I'm just joking.
You were talking about Fabio Maldonado. I have to get your thoughts. What did you think of that Fedor performance against Maldonado? A lot of people are writing him up. Not many people want to see him in the UFC. Are you still one of the people that want to see Fedor come over to the company?
Yeah, no. I think Fedor could be whoever gets him the first time. Instead of being red panty night, it'll be black panty night, you know?
And seeing as obviously you got a big fight this fight weekend, is that possibly a fight that you'd go for with a win over Derrick Lewis? Obviously, you're a big name in the heavyweight division. Is that a fight you'd be interested in?
Yeah, no. Fedor would be has always been on the wish list for I think any heavyweight that's really wanted to challenge himself. Then if Brock stays around, you know, that's a fight that that's another black panty night, you know.
Roy, break down what you see in Derrick. I mean, obviously there's a lot of raw power there. Do you see technique as well, or do you feel like he's lacks refinement?
No, I think it's like the thing about Derrick is he comes out to try to knock you out. That's the reason why fans like the way he fights. Is I think that's what separates a lot of the guys now. Is if you're an old school fighter, you definitely stick out of the crowd. It's like the zebra, and with the rest of the horses. You definitely, and that's why he stands out. It's because he's not trying to. He's always trying to finish a fight, and that's the one thing you got to respect as a fighter. Is anybody that tries to finishes the fight. That's as a fight fan. That's who I'm trying to watch fight.
Do you feel like that mindset is starting to fade a little bit?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you feel like that mindset is starting to fade a little bit? Because you say these old school fighters just stick out.
It's definitely fading, but the ones that actually still fight that way, they always stick out.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why if you see a decline in MMA, it's because they're not old school fighters.
Well, say when you see a guy like that, I mean, it would seem like if he has a weakness, it'd be his ground game a little bit. You obviously are skilled there, but I know how much you like to brawl as well. So how do you break it down? Is it a thing where you want to go toe-to-toe and kind of put on a show and prove manhood, or you feel like there's strategy to it?
I think, my last fight showed that there was a lot of strategy. It was the first time I actually actually did a game plan, which was surprising enough that I actually stuck to it because I really wanted to knock his head off a lot more. But he wouldn't stay in the pocket and wouldn't stay in there to trade. So, but it's a 3-round fight. I'm all about trying to get that fight as fast as possible just because I'm a heavyweight, we're lazy. We like to get that done and over with.
Roy, a big story this weekend is Brock Lesnar.
But it feels good.
I think a lot of people are really looking forward to this fight. Does it feel like a special fight to everyone else?
Each and every fight to me in the UFC is special. They say I shouldn't be here. Should never got here, but it feels damn good to be here though.
Going into this fight, obviously, a lot of people are saying that Roy's big advantage is the grappling area. At the open workout, you showed off a few moves there. Have you been working on your grappling pretty hard going into this one? And how much do you feel it's improved going into this fight?
I believe it improved big time, I'm a blue belt now, but a lot of people don't know that. So I really just hate the ground game anyways. I know a lot of submissions, I know a lot of defense. I just hate submitting the guy. I just like knocking him out. Make him look like he had too many beers, make him look drunk. I just like knocking people out.
Roy obviously is known for his knockout power, but known for that grappling as well. Do you feel like it would be kind of a chicken of him, I guess, to try to take you to the ground? You feel like it's a fight where he should stand and engage and just see who lands first?
I'm a brawler, so it don't matter where the fight goes. I'm always looking for the knockout. I could be on my back, I'm still looking for the knockout.
You're the only fighter in UFC history that's had their first 8 fights, one way or another, ended in knockout. What does that kind of just say about your style and how the UFC can trust you every time they put you out there to have a fight that ends that way?
Like I said before, the UFC know I'm coming in, give me all I got, kill or be killed. So I love it, they love it. I keep rolling.
Derrick, Roy was up here and he pulled you the black Fedor. What does that mean?
I don't know. I never even really seen Fedor fight. I just seen a couple of highlights, that's about it. I really don't even know Fedor. So. He good?
Very good.
Shit. I'm Black Fedor, right?
Well, speaking of the heavyweight landscape in the UFC, there's a lot of crazy things happening. Stipe's fighting over him. You've got this huge matchup between Mark Hunt and Brock Lesnar, also UFC 200. What are your thoughts on that matchup? Brock Lesnar coming back, fighting Mark Hunt. Are you excited to see Brock back in the division, back in the UFC?
Yeah, but Brock Lesnar not a fighter, He's scared to get hit, But depends on how this fight goes. If the fight goes, my fight goes the way I want it to go, Thursday, I would like to win it.
Will you be there in attendance at 200 after this fight? And if so, will you try and sort of play towards getting that fight after the fight if Brock does win?
You know how much the tickets is? Shit. I was gonna be at a bar around here watching. I'm not paying that much for them tickets.
What about that Brock fight interests you?
You know, I like Mark. You know, he come out, he just like Roy. You know, he come out and fight. You know, swing and bang. And I'm going with Mark on this fight.
Did you want to fight Brock instead?
Yeah, you know, man, I'll fight anyway. You know, the reason why I call out Roy because it's a more realistic fight. You know, ain't no way I could really call out the champ in the UFC taking it seriously. But I feel like Roy, he's like closer to my, I guess, ranking or what. So I believe he gave me the fight.
You might move it a little closer, so just to mix things.
Roy, there, you feel like that day is coming.
When you call me Roy?
No.
Next.
There, you feel like that day is coming though, where you can't call the champ.
What?
You feel like that day is coming though, when you can't call out the champ.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I believe after this fight right here that I'm gonna put on a real good performance. You know, but I believe probably next year I'm gonna step in a short notice fight. These guys falling out left and right, saying they broke their toenails, stuff like that. So I'm gonna be ready.
On top of being an exciting fighter and a knockout artist, you've seen the game a lot of traction for years.
I can't wait for this Thursday. Keep my belt, drive back home same night if possible, and enjoy.
You know, obviously you wanted that fight early this year, but was there any maybe positive out of not being able to fight and getting those back-to-back camps?
There's always positive things in that, and I got in shape so quick after that. Like I was in Singapore for 4 weeks, and man, I was in shape already there. And then I got back to California. I finished my camp here, 5-6 weeks at Kings. But I was feeling ready when I was there.
Rafael, did you watch a lot of Eddie Alvarez before he came to the UFC? How familiar were you with Eddie and his style when you got this fight?
Actually, I didn't watch much of his fight before. I knew he's a tough guy. He was champion in different divisions, but even now he's in UFC. Every opponent I try to don't watch much because once I start watch the fights, I start thinking too much about what my opponent's gonna do, and I forget about my team. And I always focus on my team. I know he's a tough guy, but I'm in a great moment of my life, you know, and ready to, keep my belt.
He said that he did 150 live sparring sessions during this camp, and that he doesn't believe in overtraining. What's your take on that?
Yeah, we'll see fight night. I think we have like a kind of same years of career. I have 12 years as a professional fighter. He has 13 or something. But I feel that I'm fresh. I have way less mileage on my body, I just feel fresh. And it will be my fight number 20 on UFC. I've been competing on this level, on UFC level, for so long time. And I think on Thursday night it will make different. My experience will make different.
It seems like in almost every fight he'll get knocked down or he'll get hurt, but he's able to come back. If you hurt him, how important is it to capitalize on that moment and not allow him to rally from that?
Sure, like I did with Cerrone. Cerrone is a tough guy, and he's very durable too. But I felt that I hurt him on the body with a body shot, and I took advantage of it. Same thing on this fight. I know I have 25 minutes, but I will take advantage of any mistake he make, and I will be able to finish.
Could you move a little closer to the mic? Just take a step
Okay, sorry.
Some fans have been a little bit critical about Eddie getting the title shot. Was there anyone that you would have preferred to fight next instead of Eddie, or were you happy when you found out Alvarez was the matchup?
Yeah, my job is get ready, and defend my belt. Whoever UFC gonna put on my front, my job is take care of them, But Eddie, he beat 2 former champions. Now he got a chance for the title. Melendez is a former Strikeforce champion. Anthony Pettis is a former UFC champion, and he beat those guys. And I'll have his chance, and we'll see.
Is there any part of you that still wants to face Conor McGregor? Do you feel like you have unfinished business there?
Conor McGregor is a 145 champion. I am a lightweight champion. I can't make 45. I need to cut my leg off. Who wants 2 belts? He wants 2 belts. He wanna be 2 division champ, like he said. And my job is keep my lightweight belt. The day that he wanna come to lightweight and UFC think he deserves the shot, I will be there, you know. But he's welcome.
We did an interview once and you mentioned that you see a day where you move up in weight because the weight cut is tough. How much longer do you see yourself being in the lightweight division? And how tough has the weight cut been going into this one?
Yeah, it's always tough, but I've been getting help from some nutrition. George been helping me a lot. And I'm 31 years old. I don't know how long I can, you know. I feel in great shape. Like I said, I have way less mileage on my body. I feel fresh. I get it. I live like an athlete life, you know. I eat very well, and I take care of my body. But maybe in the future, I want to make sure I clean this lightweight division top 2 bottle, and maybe looking forward for some super fights, upper weight. We'll see what God have to me in the future.
Your teammate Fabricio Werdum lost his title. We saw that happen. Does that motivate?
I get all of them.
You got all of them.
I get all of them.
You've been working this moment for a long time, man. It seems like you're relaxed. Give us the feeling.
Oh yeah, man. I'm enjoying you guys. You know, it was a little transition coming from the smaller promotions up here. I'm enjoying you guys now. You're enjoying me back. We're having fun, and it's only gonna. It only turns over to a good performance. When you're having a good time, you know, it turns over to good performance.
Eddie, you made the comment in the lead up to this fight about 150 sparring sessions or something like that. Can you explain?
150 plus.
So what exactly are you defining as a sparring session?
Live sparring, full out, different partners every time. We don't take minute rest, we take 30-second rest, and that's how we prepare. That's what goes into our training, and that's how we get ready for this dance going on.
Why do you feel you have different results than others who have cited overtraining? Is there something specific about your camp and coaches that you feel it's a benefit? The more sparring, the better.
Yeah. Hey, anybody knows if you're passionate about something, you love something, the more you do it, the better you get. People who talk about overtraining or overdoing something are people who ain't passionate about what they do. When you go to bed late and you wake up early, that's someone who loves what they do. And you need to be like that about fighting in order to be at the top. If you're talking about overtraining, you need to get out the game.
Hey, when you see stuff on Twitter about your last 2 performances and how they weren't the most exciting, and people criticize you, and you see that, have they forgotten that you've been a part of some of the most exciting fights maybe in the history of MMA? Are they forgotten already?
I don't know if people have forgotten, but I don't even know if people have ever seen what I've done in the past. And it really, it doesn't matter. What's done is done. Whether I did it last week or whether a year ago, what's done is done. What's important is the time is now, and it's important to keep changing. When people think I'm a brawler, I come in intelligent. People think I'm fighting intelligent and safe, I come in brawling. I keep people thinking, keep people guessing. That's what the game's about.
Frankie Edgar's obviously fighting at 200 around the same time as you. How good was it for you to have that ability to train with him and both of you sort of having a fight around the same time?
Unbelievable. I think we were like kids again, man. It was like I was my first MMA fight, training for my first MMA fight. The competitiveness in the room, me, Edson, Marlon, Frankie, and the whole crew. The competitiveness in the room is high, the stakes are high, and everybody's excited. It was one of the best training camps I've ever been involved in.
You had trained there previously, but was being back in Philadelphia part of the rejuvenating process for you?
Absolutely. Just being around my wife and kids on a daily basis, it gives me a break in my day. When I was out in Florida by myself, it was, I think it was like too much. It was fighting all day long. I had nothing to look forward to. Couldn't lay in the pool, have my kids smack me in the head to wake me up in the morning. There was a lot of normal things that went on that just were taken away from me, and I think it weighed on me a little bit. And now I can act like a normal person. I think you need to be at peace to go to war, and I think in order for peace, you need some war. So they need each other.
You've been considered the best guy in the world in your weight class at certain points in your career, but what would it mean to have the UFC letters behind that thought?
That's everything, man. That's what I since 8 years old, walking down the street with 4 boxing gloves in my hand, knocking for a friend to maybe someone could fight me. That's what this has grown to. Really young kid, just wanting to fight, wanting to be competitive, and now we're here, 32 years old. I always said this is a marathon, not a sprint, and I'm willing to wait my turn, and now's my turn, and we're going to take that belt home.
What about the mindset of Mark Henry and the coaching that you get is going to allow you to implement a strategy to take home the gold?
Mark's incredible. He don't want no credit. That's a great thing about him. He stays humble. He's just like the fighters he trains. Humble, works hard, keeps his head down, and he's the brains behind the whole operation. When I get this belt on Thursday, most of it will be because of Mark Henry and because of his brains and intelligence behind this vessel going out there and just doing what he says.
Eddie, Will Brooks has mentioned you recently in a few interviews. Is he a guy that's on your list? Is he a guy that you think you'll run into down the road?
Raza bonita de Las Vegas, seguimos celebrando nuestros 25 años. Ustedes ya conocieron la historia de la vaquita. Ahora queremos agradecerle con nuestras grandes ofertas.
Filete de mojarra, 1.89 la libra. Limón verde, 5 libras por $1. Mango Manila, 5 por $1.
Gracias por permitirnos ser parte de usted. ¡Ay, siga en sintonía porque venimos con más!
Ven y disfruta del auténtico sabor mexicano. El Chamizal te ofrece gran variedad de platillos con un sabor inigualable. El exquisito molcajete Pancho Villa, el caldo Siete Mares, el riquísimo agua chile, el super cóctel de camarones y la exótica cecina de venado y una gran variedad de mariscos. ¡Te esperamos!
Es temporada de taxes y muchas veces no sabemos a dónde acudir. Luis tuvo una mala experiencia en el 2011. Por tratar de ganar el sorteo de una camioneta, no recibió su reembolso, pero sí una auditoría. Y en el 2012 le prometieron $10.000 que nunca recibió y lo estafaron cobrándole $500 por su preparación. Miles de contribuyentes son víctimas de fraude cada año. TaxMax te da más. Te ofrecemos tu estimado gratis. Visítanos o llámame al 943-8886.
San Pedro Store, ahora más grande que nunca. San Pedro Store, ofreciendo gran variedad en productos naturales como rábano yodado, Vital Fuerte, Bedoyecta, Vitacilina, Neurobión, Sucrol, Cicloferón, crema, champú Crece, champú de Chile, champú para los piojos. San Pedro Store con 5 localidades. Estamos al norte de la Rancho, esquina con Washington, a un lado del Chamizal. Para más información, llama al 638-2666. ¡Es San Pedro Store! ¡Ahora, tío Gume!
Tacos México, con el verdadero sazón mexicano. Ya sabes, para tacos, Tacos México y ya. Ven y prueba nuestro riquísimo menudo y nuestra birria de chivo todos los días. Abierto las 24 horas del día con servicio de drive-thru en Las Vegas Boulevard y San Luis y en nuestra locación de Charleston y Maryland. Teléfono 702-444-2288. No lo olvides, para tacos, Tacos México y ya.